Hello, this is my final evaluation for my magazine. My group's magazine was aimed at both genders, who vary from the age of 16 to 21. We chose to aim our magazine at both genders because both genders nowadays listen to the same artists, so focusing on one gender would rapidly decline the potential audience. The colours we used on our magazine are seen a lot in the music industry, as they are quite stereotypical, but this allows our magazine to get easily recognised not only on the shelf, but recognised as a music magazine. The main image I used for my front cover is black and white. I did this because the artist's style isn't very modern, so I wanted to play on that fact and make it look like an older picture. I did this because the artist's style is quite retro. Our magazine is named Million Magazine. Our masthead is red and white. We chose these colours because we felt that they contrasted well, and we also incorporated an arrow in the middle of the O. We did this because the arrow represents our magazine moving forward in the industry, and even though my artist has a retro style, we still think that this shows our magazine moving forward because he's not being generic and copying all the other artists and sounds that are out there at the moment. On my double page spread I mention a couple of different festivals. We did this because the age range of our audience, 16 to 21 year olds, are attending these different festivals. We also did this to show our magazine doesn't just contain gossip and contains different facts and events informing our readers about where their favourite artists will be performing next. Our magazine is quite similar to others such as Vibe magazine and Indie magazine. This is because we got inspiration from both these magazines, such as Indie magazine's white masthead. We then mixed the advantages of each to come up with a basic idea for our own front cover. To start the distribution of our magazine, we would mainly rely on the word of mouth, as we are an indie magazine and don't have the capital to distribute through shops at the first stage. An easy way to do this to spread the word would be at our artists' gigs. This would allow the word to spread at the event and hopefully even more afterwards. From looking back at my preliminary magazine, the difference is huge because I now know the importance of many different things like having a studio image and the colour contrast between text and image. So as our group looked back at their preliminary tasks, we all realised that we needed to improve our skills on the program Photoshop. So we did go to websites like YouTube to watch many different videos which helped teach us how to do a lot of different skills. We all gained particular different skills, like Ben got rather good at the shadowing of the images. Jules really enjoyed doing all the text work, and she got quite good at that. And I again like doing a lot of the main image work. I thought changing a lot of the brightness and contrast on the images. I gained a skill in learning how to make the image look very professional. So after the three of us used YouTube, we gained a lot more skills on Photoshop, which helped us a lot more when creating things like our front cover, our contents page and our double page spreads. um, without knowing the layout of the magazines from our research. The front cover content and double page would have looked very amateur again. From looking at different magazines like Vibe magazine and Indie magazine, this helped us to realise what our layout needed to be, where we needed to put text and where we needed to involve certain different images. I think that our group grasped this very well, as each of our magazines look very professional and have had a big jump in skill from our preliminary tasks. Me, Ben, and Jules had both a YouTube account and a Twitter account. This helped us a lot with asking our audience a lot of questions, like what they wanted to feature in our magazine, what artists they would like to know more about, what colours they would like to see. We also put a picture of a lot of different possible mastheads and asked for their opinions on them. We felt like this really helped our group because it helped us answer a lot of questions, like in the groups, like say if we had a split decision and we couldn't come to a final agreement, we would ask our followers on Twitter, or we would put a YouTube video on asking different questions about our magazine. Yes, this definitely helped our group. The Twitter account especially, I felt, was a lot more effective because it allowed us to get quicker answers rather than making a whole video. All we did was make a new tweet asking for different opinions. You could just upload pictures quickly asking for opinions, and we got answers a lot quicker than we did on YouTube. As I'm coming to the end of my evaluation, I think my group has done really well in our project. I'm proud of my teammates. I think we did really well, and I'm happy at the jump in our skills that we've learned from preliminary tasks to our final magazines. They look a lot better. We've learned so much doing this task, and we've also taught each other different things, like different skills on Photoshop and stuff. I am also happy at my jump in skill from my preliminary. I really didn't think my preliminary was very professional at all. It was very basic, didn't contain any skill, any technical language used when explaining what I'd done, whereas my magazine I've created now, the masthead is a lot more. It's not necessarily more difficult. It's more basic. It didn't take me as long to make, but that's because I have learned more skills and I know what looks good now and what doesn't. I've learned about the importance of things like studio images, and the importance of the colour of text, and the importance of putting different colours together and what looks good under what. And I've also learned a lot on image editing and how to use a lot of different tools like the stamp and blemish tool, getting rid of different things like spots and other like cuts on people's faces. I had to do this on my model's face for the front cover. He did have a couple of spots and a cut above his lip, but having learned the Photoshop skills now, it's not even noticeable. I hope you've enjoyed my evaluation. I hope my magazine has improved. I hope I'm not just saying this for myself. And yeah, thanks for listening.